Urban Therapy with Sun 752, and this is your daily Go Getimism number 601 for May 26, 2016. Tonight I want to talk to y'all about holding it back, holding it all back. No, actually holding it in. Holding it in. You know, like when you don't want to tell somebody something. Trust issues are crazy nowadays. And it's funny because I imagine that trust issues have always been in the forefront for probably decades and decades. But I don't think it has been as prevalent now as far as the knowledge of it is concerned. I don't think people really understood how deep their trust issues have gone. And I think now that we have a greater understanding of how it works, then I think that we can probably start to address those things a little better. Some of us are going to be able to address them and some of us aren't. But that's the way of the world. There ain't a whole lot we can do about that. We have to sort of roll with the punches and take what we can get, you know? But when we talk about holding it in, like when you are afraid to express yourself to somebody because you fear what they may do with the information that you give them. What makes this problem a much bigger problem is the fact that we're talking about people that we may be romantically involved with or people that we love. You know, when you can't really communicate with a person that you're dealing with on any level, whether it's a romantic level, whether it's on a friendship level, whether it's on a business level, when you can't trust somebody with the information that you give them about yourself, I mean, how can you really deny that there are trust issues like crazy? And we was talking about this a lot last night on the Urban Therapy with Sun show. We were talking about how, you know, our vulnerability comes into play when we start talking about the feelings that we have for somebody. I'm thinking to myself, what could be worse than really being in love with somebody, really having deep love for them and not being able to tell them or being afraid to tell them because you think that the love that you have for that person will turn them against you. Not turn them against you in that they don't want to be loved, but that will, but the love that you have for them will make them opportunistic and predatory and start to victimize you. It's crazy when you really think about it. It's a terrible thing. Yeah, I mean, it really is. It really is a terrible thing because, number one, I think we should understand this. If you love somebody and you show that love that you have for them to them, or you express how you feel to them, if they abuse you, if they hurt you, if they victimize you, if they steal from you or put you in uncomfortable positions or try to take unfair advantage of you, it's not because you love them. It's because that's who they are and that's what they are. So we have a problem, as far as I'm concerned nowadays, coming up with the real cause of certain problems and then being able to place the blame where the blame belongs. It's not because you love somebody that they victimize you. They victimize you because that's what they do. Think about it. Normally, you get revenge on somebody that has done something bad to you, that has wronged you in some way, unjustifiably, unfairly. So if you are doing something good for somebody and letting them know how good you feel about what you're doing for them or to them, whatever, and they turn around and they make a mockery of you, or they mess up everything, all of the good feelings that you had for them, they turn that against you to make you feel bad or small, or basically they just ruin the love that you have for them. It's not because you love them. Love don't do that. It's just that those people are who they are. And you fell in love with an asshole. Or you fell in love with a thief. Or you fell in love with an abuser. Or you fell in love with somebody that doesn't mean you any good. The thing about it is, you know who we really have to change? Ourselves. We can't blame everything that happens to us on somebody else. Not when it happens to us consistently. And the way I look at it is, if every time that you fall in love with somebody, every time that you show love for somebody, somebody does you bad, it's not because of your loving expression. It's because there's something in you that attracts that type of person, or you're attracted to that type of person, and it could be a spiritual attraction or a spiritual connection, whereas you don't understand that you don't even see what you see with your eyes. You're seeing it with your mind. So it's not until you change what's going on inside of you that you'll be able to change the things that are going on around you, because you're not going to place yourself in those same positions to be victimized. You know what I mean? You educate yourself more, and you start to change what's going on inside of yourself more. You elevate your level more. You're not going to be around the same people because they're not going to speak the same language as you anymore. They're not going to have the same interests as you anymore. You're going to be like an alien or a piece of chocolate in a sea of vanilla. And you're going to have to find people who are more like you. So when your esteem level is higher, you have to be around other people whose esteem level is higher. You can't swim with the guppies no more when you become a shark. It just doesn't work that way. So you don't have to be afraid to express your love for somebody. Love ain't going to hurt you. It's the person who doesn't have any love in their heart that's going to hurt you. It's the person who doesn't know how to love who's going to hurt you. But you have to change what's inside of yourself so you don't attract that type of person. And I mean, that's just the way I see it. Think about it. We tried everything else. Now we have to try something different. And probably the thing we haven't tried the most is changing ourselves, changing our outlook, changing our perspective, changing our desires, our goals. Do all of that internal work, and the world around you starts to change, because you're going to see it in a different way, and you're not going to tolerate certain things. You're not going to be able to put up with certain things anymore, because you're different. But you're really different. Not the different that you feel like needs to show to everybody. This ain't about taking selfies. This ain't about a makeover and nothing like that. When you do an internal makeover, you don't need makeup. You don't have to take pictures of yourself all the time. You shine. And people can see you. Now they're taking pictures of you because they can't believe your transformation. But you have to do the internal work. Or if you don't, then you'll just be continuing that cycle of blaming this person. Every time I get with somebody, they blah, blah, blah. Every time I blah, 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 blah. Man, come on, man. You have to change yourself. Maybe you have to change the church you go to. Maybe you have to change the holy books you read. Maybe you have to change change the school that you go to. Maybe you have to change the way that the route that you take to work. Maybe you have to change your job. Maybe there's a whole lot of things that you have to change. But the things that you have to change the most is in here. You have to change your mind. And that's all I have to say about that, man. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. And anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours. And remember, once you change the inside of yourself, you'll never have to be afraid to love. You'll never have to be afraid to get into a relationship. And you'll never have to be afraid to proceed forward. Because once you change the way that you think and you learn better, then you will automatically expect better, and you'll do better, and you'll get better. Speaking of better, the Urban Therapy with Sun Spring Cleaning event is this Saturday, May 28th. Come through. Wissahickon Avenue and Rittenhouse Street in Germantown, Philadelphia. Come through 10 o'clock a.m. We going through them woods. We going to take that hike. And that's how we change the inside of ourselves. And that's why we can expect better for ourselves. And that's how it goes. That's just how it's going down, homie. And I get with y'all later. Peace. Have a good night.